Hello, party people. It's the Phenomenal Show. I am your host, Joshua Harrell, and welcome to the show. As always, I really appreciate the fact that you are carving out a little time in your day to awaken the phenomenal force inside you and honoring it and helping it to thrive. We are on this series of episodes to talk about a systematic approach to achieving your goals. So we've been talking a lot about habits, and today it's developing new empowering habits. So in the last episode, we talked about swapping out a negative habit for a positive habit, and that is a powerful success skill. However, there are times when installing a new habit is necessary, even if there isn't a negative habit to replace. You'll have a better understanding of how to create new habits by the time we get done with this episode for sure. But there may be times when you don't actually have a negative habit that thwarts you from living the life you desire. Instead, you just don't do anything to actually work to achieve the goals and success that you want. During these times, you could develop new empowering habits. Once a positive action that you decide to do becomes a habit, you'll do it automatically without even thinking about it. So, positive habits you develop on your own make it easier for you to create the life you desire. Now, I've got a little example, a little vignette here, a hypothetical vignette, just to illustrate how you develop a positive habit. So, you want to get more promotions at work, so you'll make more money and become one of the resident experts in your field. But for some reason, you've never really invested any of your personal time in your work. You don't read journals, trade magazines, or, content on the web about your career. The thing is, you really like your job and love it when your boss gives you projects that really challenge you. How can you set up your life so that you invest a bit of your personal time to expand your professional knowledge and horizons? So here's some suggestions. First, subscribe to a professional or trade journal in your field. To excel in your work, you must have tangible evidence of your career. Place books and journals on a coffee table and in your bedside table. These are your situational cues to devote time to your study at home. Remember, in successfully forming habits, you need those situational cues to keep you on your game, keep you focused. Second, schedule time in your day to read about your profession and explore trending topics relating to your job. Even 30 minutes a day consistently will whet your appetite to delve more into your profession and the specific areas that interest you. If you can, establish your study time to occur at the same time each day. And that could be just setting a reminder on your phone to go off. I'm a big fan of actually putting it on your calendar and carving out that time. But even a reminder to say, hey, look at this. And, if you've got an iPhone, at least, that's the only thing that I can relate to is an iPhone. But you can name those alarms and it can just say, hey, do some work. So number 3, join organizations that address your type of work that surround your role. Attend the meetings consistently, whether they're weekly or monthly, some even quarterly. Remind yourself you're working to establish the habit of cultivating your work interests to be more successful and achieve your goals. And also, when you put yourself in those situations, I inevitably a multitude of things occurs, and they aren't necessarily the things that you go to the meetings for. It could be making a connection with someone. It could be getting a new client. It can just be insight that you gather from those live sessions. I get really, really, I don't know why, to go to a meeting like that. I get really anxious and like a performance anxiety, and I'm not necessarily performing, but especially if it's a new one. And inevitably, I walk away with having a conversation with at least one person that I wasn't expecting. And I learned something about something that I didn't think, it wasn't what I intended. So it always enriches you to put yourself in those situations. So outside of just forming the habit to join those organizations that, revolve around your field, putting yourself out there to give yourself the opportunity for other just instances of connection. It's a magical thing. It's a magical thing. Sorry, I kind of got off topic there. Number 4, engage in activities to cultivate your special interests. So, check out books, meet coworkers for coffee to discuss work for an hour a week. Surf the web, and there's so much content on the web. If you want to read, if you want to listen, if you want to watch a video, see what's going on in your profession. And just like those in-person meetings, you never know what insights you might gain, and they're probably not what you think you're looking for, and it can have a miraculous effect on you. So starting new behaviors that you want to develop into a positive habit takes a certain amount of self-motivation, focus, and effort on your part. However, it's worth the effort because ultimately, you'll establish positive habits that will lead you to the life you dream of. And I've got a quote from Aristotle. He, way back then. He said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." Pretty good stuff, Aristotle. All right, so your homework for today's episode, forming new habits requires motivation. You wouldn't go to the trouble of creating a new habit if you didn't care in some way. One of the challenges to creating habits is that there is little to no reward in the short term. The benefits only come down the road. So pick a new habit you'd like to develop and imagine all the benefits you'll receive if you're able to consistently perform that action. Notice how much more motivated you are after you do this exercise, because it will happen. You'll get some steam out of it. So take action to start making your new habit a reality. That's, taking action always makes the difference. So I do have an affirmation and journal prompts for this. For this episode, so I'm going to get right into it. All right, here we go. I'd love to do this like I'm doing a sermon, so hopefully I don't get carried away. All right, here's your affirmation. And this is on phenomenalshow.com. Just click the episode and you can get the text version of this affirmation here, because you might want to read this, and you definitely journal, get those prompts if you don't catch them when I talk about them here. All right. Each day is a new opportunity to practice good habits. I am excited by each day. Whatever I did yesterday is gone and no longer has any hold on me. Who knows what might happen tomorrow? Therefore, all I have is the present, and I plan to make the most of it. Part of making the best out of today is taking every opportunity to create habits that I want to have in my life. And habits do take practice to form. With each behavior I reinforce repeatedly, I start or continue a pattern. I want to only engage in actions that serve me, so I stay conscious about each thing I do. With each intentional act I make, I gain confidence in my ability to affect positive change in my life. No matter what, I know that I can learn to make the best decisions possible regardless of my circumstances. If I find myself engaged in behaviors that are less than supportive of my highest vision of myself, I choose to take different actions next time. And as long as I am alive, there is always a next time. Today, I am thankful for my good habits. I joyously put myself into every chance I get to make new ones. This is a daily practice for me, since each day is a new opportunity for me to practice good habits. How'd you like that one? All right, here are your journal prompts, or at least something to ponder while you're in the shower or as you're driving to work or on the train. So I've got 3 for you. First, what are some good habits that you already engage in daily? What is one thing that you would like to change in your life that you can take action on today? How do your good habits support your sense of self? All right. So those are your journal prompts. You know, we're working towards that systematic approach to achieving goals, and that's why we've been talking about habits. We've got more on this journey, and you know, as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to tune in. So that is it for today, and I look forward to the next time we're together. Until then, take care of yourself so you can take care of everybody else. See you next time.
I'm looking for a better place, somewhere safer I can get away. Gonna find myself a brighter day. I'm looking for, spread my wings and fly away. I'm looking for